Welcome, everybody, and happy holidays. Welcome to another episode of the Lunch Table Podcast. And in this video, I'm going to give you my review for Prime Video. Let's get into it. Prime is an interesting subject, interesting streaming service because it has its own original content like The Boys, like The Man in the High Tower Castle, whatever that ended a long time ago. Has a lot of stuff, Invincible, but also is a hub. I remember back in the day, it included HBO, but of course they set out to do their own thing. So now we have the likes of Paramount Plus, AMC Plus. So, I mean, you know, each service you subscribe to is an additional amount of money you have to pay each month, whereas Prime Video, it's included with Amazon Prime. So you have to pay every year about $100 and something. With this stuff, I think you could choose to pay yearly or monthly, and some of it's expensive. So you have, for example, AMC Plus, which I believe at the time when I was paying for it, it's like $14. I forgot how much Paramount Plus is. You have MGM Plus. The only thing good at MGM, I think, back in the day, which I wish I reviewed, was the show From. That's what it's called. It's called From. That's a really great show. They just wrapped up their season 2 a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, I mean, you have Stars, you have all of this. So I think that's a really smart move with Prime to include these things. I think now looking for the actual show you want to watch can be a little cumbersome when it comes to Paramount Plus, because Paramount Plus also has a thing now where they include Showtime shows. I was not going to subscribe to Showtime just to watch a show every once in a blue moon and pay for it. So that's the problem with these. It's just that, you know, a lot of the gems that you want to watch are very far few and in between. And I think that was my main criticism for a lot of the streaming services. It's like, well, I don't watch a lot of this, but I'm paying for it monthly. So at the end of the day, you're just chilling, you're bored, you want to watch something, and it's like, there's nothing to watch and I pay for all this. That's one of the reasons why I canceled cable. And I feel like in a way, Prime is kind of a little bit like cable. It even has live TV and whatnot. I mean, at least Prime has good shows. It's not a whole plethora of random stuff like Netflix, where it's just this whole slew of bad and good. Prime usually tries to achieve a high bar, a high quality, and I think they achieve them for the most part, at least. When it comes down to their originals, yeah, I mean, you have The Marvelous Miss Maisel. I think Reacher just started their second season. You had Jack Ryan, which I need to finish up. So these shows are pretty good. When it comes to Paramount Plus, AMC, I mean, it's what you'd expect if you subscribe to Paramount Plus. You know, if you subscribe to AMC Plus, you don't really have to if you have the hub here. But I would imagine those as a separate streaming service would be more easier to look through. A lot of scouring through this streaming service, you know, the hubs, Paramount Plus, AMC Plus. Like, I'm going to click on Paramount Plus, and it's really hard for me, for example, to find the show The Curse with Nathan Fielder, which I wish I reviewed that. Maybe I'll do that next year as like a late review. But it's actually quite difficult sometimes to check it out, and it'll be categorized under, let's say, it'll say binge-worthy dramas, and so that wasn't like that originally. They keep changing it, and it gets kind of hard to search for Walking Dead shows on AMC Plus. Is actually pretty messed up. I cannot find any Walking Dead show. I usually have to search stuff in the search bar. I just have to type it in, and that's fine. It's not a big deal. That's like a first world problem. But if I'm nitpicking the actual UI, it's like, why not? If AMC is really well known for its Walking Dead stuff, why not actually just add its own category? Just like Disney Plus does with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, but I don't think there's no dry spell when it comes to Prime, because you do have the hubs and you have Prime itself, and you have a lot of free movies to watch. And, you know, AMC, these smaller hubs are also mixing with other hubs of content. So AMC with Shudder, Paramount with Showtime, and the list goes on and on. So it makes it more convenient. You don't have to really subscribe to other stuff. And I think it makes it worth more the value. So I have no gripes really with Prime in that sense. Again, I just think that sometimes it's a little bit cumbersome finding the actual show or a specific show you want to watch. And, you could also rent movies here. This is where you would rent movies or shows, pay for them, which actually buying a show is really expensive. I'm like, damn, I might as well just get the physical media for that, because sometimes it's like $29. But thankfully, there's a lot of free content here that you're already paying for it, and it's included. So I really think it's a big bang for your buck. It's great. I've always enjoyed Prime. That's my go-to when I'm like bored or I want to watch something while I'm editing or gaming. I just usually check Prime and see if they have what I want to see. So with that, and also if you go to the actual website itself, then you also have Prime, where you could search any product you want to get. I think the website's actually better than just going to the app. Because at least you have other features there that you could, boom, bada bing, bada boom. Because sometimes if you want to do something on TV, if you have to buy or rent something, you can't really do it through the website or the app. You would actually have to go to Prime and rent it through there. So that's a little issue too. I want to do a small criticism of the comics as well. I know this is a little bit left field, but it's around the same issue. So back then, Comixology was a part of Prime. It was good. It was great. And then they completely ruined it. And to some extent, I actually feel like the app for Amazon Prime was better back then. Now it just seems weird. I don't know what they're doing. They're trying to cut their costs or something like that. But now Comixology is integrated through Kindle, which who gives a shit? They did that. That was a huge, massive L. And now to read comics, you would have to go to Marvel, DC, I would imagine Dark Horse. And it's just like, it's so nice to have this hub that's everything together. And they completely forego that. And it sucks so bad. And I hope one day they can return to the greatness that they have achieved. But I doubt it'll be anytime soon. So I just had an idea, like, wouldn't that be great if you had a comics hub where it's exactly like Prime Video and a little less overwhelming, more simplified, and then boom, you could do it. And then the reader UI is great, like it used to be. I mean, if you want to include that into Prime Video, change the name to Prime whatever, and it just mix all those elements together, I think that'll be great. I don't know how much it'll be, but geez Louise, man, they need to fix that. And that's the issue. Sometimes it can get a little bit complicated to find what you want to get. Like let's say I want to catch up on all the canonical Star Wars comics and I left off at a certain point. I'm going to have to scrub through multiple Wikipedias just to find out where I should read next, what I need to catch up on. And so this could become a major issue. And I would imagine it'll become a major issue with Prime. It's just, thankfully, I guess in a weird way, I mean, they don't have a lot of content. When it comes to, like, for example, Walking Dead, they don't have a lot of shows that it's just so many. It's like a Crunchyroll or something. If with an anime, it's like, oh, this is this chapter or something like that. So at least it's more simplified when it comes to media to watch. So I don't know. That's my thoughts on that. I mean, what would be really cool, guys? Like, imagine if you have Prime Video, but it's mixed with books, Kindle, whatever, and it's also mixed with comics. So you have this thing with entertainment where you could read, you could also watch things, and you could also buy things, products and stuff like that, like Red Bulls or whatever, like all in one service. I think that'll be really decent. It'll probably be a lot of money, but I mean, because they have something special here, like I said, and there's a lot of companies doing deals with each other, like Shudder, AMC Plus, like I just mentioned. So yeah, I think they should try to focus on that. Again, they're cutting costs. It's not as good as it used to be, Amazon. It's not as, I don't mean just buying products, but I mean like fleshing out the actual UI, fleshing out how easy it is to access certain things. I think could be a lot more better than it actually is right now, especially in 2023. I think they need to do better. And I'm kind of like Sam Wilson saying that. But yeah, that is my review for Prime Video. If I had to rate it, I'd give it I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Again, this is the main place where I usually consume content, that and Netflix. So I really enjoyed Prime since the beginning, Prime Video at least. So yeah, but that is my review. If you guys liked what I said or you disliked what I said, let me know in the comments below. If you guys have any more thoughts to what I just added or any criticisms or anything you want to really change about Prime, let me know too, because I'm interested in ideas. I like to imagine a world where Prime is actually perfect, and hopefully the warehouse workers are okay too, But yeah, we have plenty of content coming your way, so stick with us. Merry Christmas. I love you guys. See you.